Some
What do
people
you
say the
got?
boogers are still there.
Facts are tracks. We're gonna break some vinyl down from the front to the back with facts on tracks.
Showtime. Welcome to Breaking Vinyl. I'm your host, Dez, a.k.a.
Johnny.
And as always, I'm joined by my three co-hosts. First up, the podcaster coming through in high fidelity, Evil Ed. Okay. And the podcaster playing the deep cuts, Dangerous Dave.
Hey, hello.
And last but not least, the podcaster with a bottle of bourbon. Bourbon, right?
Yes, sir.
Beaconstein.
Hey,
Okay, I got the yes sir out of him though. We're working on this. We're building it up slowly. As always, the mission of this show is for us to introduce each other and you, the listeners, to albums and bands which you may never have heard before, while also discussing the classics. And on occasion, we will ruthlessly insult each other's musical taste. So sit back and enjoy the show. Tonight, we will be discussing Foreigner, the self-titled debut studio album by Foreigner, produced by John Sinclair and Gary Lyons, in collaboration with Mick Jones and Ian McDonald, released on March 8th of 1977 by Atlantic Records. The album peaked at the number 4 spot on the Billboard 200. The band's lineup was as follows: Lou Gramm, lead vocals, percussion; Mick Jones, keyboards, lead guitars, backing vocals, lead vocals on tracks 3 and 7. Ian McDonald, more keyboards, guitars, awesome saxophone, flute, little Ron Burgundy there, and backing vocals. Al Greenwood, more keyboards and some synthesizers. Ed Gagliardi, bass, backing vocals, and Dennis Elliott on the drums, and even more backing vocals. So there you go. That was Foreigner at the time of this album's recording. I believe the lineup did change over the years, though, yes? Okay, you're
Yep.
all very helpful.
A million times.
A couple times, yeah.
Okay.
There's like 30 people that have been in this band.
So does that make them suck like the dogs to more, or no?
No.
Okay, let's do some quick band facts. So I got one. Foreigner has had 9 top 10 hits. That's the same as Fleetwood Mac and more than the great hit machine Journey. Unfortunately, tonight, there are only 2 on this album. Woman O Woman, in my opinion, not a hit. I know it is a hit, but it's not. I'm not counting it a hit. Dave, what do you got?
All right. Guitarist Mick Jones had wanted Roy Thomas Baker, the producer who had done many Queen albums, to produce the album, but he was not available. The first attempt at mixing the album was done at SARM Studios in London, but they were dissatisfied with the result, so they took it back to Atlantic Recording Studios in New York. And Mick Jones, along with Ian McDonald and Jimmy Douglas, remixed the record, and that's what we're hearing today. Multi-instrumentalist Ian McDonald had been part of the early King Crimson. And lastly, John Kalodner, who would go on to become one of the most high-profile music business personalities of the 80s, working with bands like Aerosmith and Whitesnake. You've seen him in Aerosmith videos. He was instrumental to getting the band signed to Atlantic Records.
Nice. Ed, what do you got on the Big Foreigner album?
All right. The band's original name was Trigger. They had to change it, and Foreigner fit because 3 of the guys are from the UK and 3 of the guys are from the US. So no matter where they played, someone would always be a foreigner. which I
Nice.
think is just hysterical. This album sold 5 million copies and stayed in the top 20 for how long? A year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's successful.
Yeah.
Foreigner themselves have had 16 top 30 hits, and they have close to 15 million audio and video streams every week.
Yeah, they've got some big hits. I mean, Jukebox Hero. There's some big cuts.
That wasn't
coming
even
from this band.
one of the biggest. That only hit like 26 on the charts.
I think that might be my favorite Foreigner song out of all of them. I fucking love that song.
But there are 3 on this album. I disagree with you guys.
Woman, a Woman's not a hit.
I'm not talking about that one.
Oh, there's another hit besides that.
We'll get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Fee, you picked it. Tell us about it.
All right. No, I obviously I didn't have a lot on this, Des. We'll just not a lot, but no. We'll go with that still. But I love did you guys read about all the infighting on the credits, on the writing credits from the start? I think that's fucking hysterical. Like day one, album one, and you guys are fucking cucking over fucking writing credits. Like this is ridiculous.
It's fucking
Like
awesome.
no wonder they had 30 members,
Yep.
So I thought it was awesome. Fact right now, if you go to the Foreigner website, they are stumping for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame votes. They want you to vote for them for the Hall of Fame, and it's all over their fucking website, which I think is whatever. I'll leave my opinion of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame out of this. But I found the coolest thing, and I don't even know how I came upon this, was this guy Jerry Greenberg was the head of Atlantic Records, and Dave, tell me if you know this one. But when he signed them, part of their deal was when they played their first show at MSG, he wanted to be on stage with them. I guess he used to be a drummer. So they announce him, they get on stage at MSG, and they fucking announce, hey, we got a special guest, Jerry Greenberg, the head of, Sony Records or whatever it was, or Atlantic Records. And he gets on stage, steps onto the riser, and just starts jamming out. That's like,
Nice.
That's pretty fucking cool, So,
Nice.
that's all I got for this, but I thought that was a pretty interesting fact for them.
Wow, I
So
did
they-
not hear that one.
Yeah.
They took the name Trigger out behind the barn and shot it dead and named him
Yes,
Foreigner.
sir.
Oh, shit. Fucking Trigger. Okay.
Brr.
Let's do a couple of opening thoughts on this one. So I have heard the 2 big hits, obviously, countless times, like everybody else. But honestly, the rest of the album was basically a new listen to me. I mean, maybe I heard a little here and there, but I don't know, man. It was new to me. Dave, what's your experience with this gem?
I have never heard this one before. Of course, I have heard the radio hits. I've seen the famous Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode where Carl gets the Foreigner souvenir belt. You don't need no instructions to know how to rock.
Nice.
And I may or may not have heard Feels Like the First Time in a Gentleman's Club years and years ago.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome.
Ed, what do you got on this?
Honestly, now I'm disappointed because I haven't heard that song in a gentleman's club. And Lord knows I frequented a lot of fucking those. Yeah, I heard 3 of the songs that are on the radio. That's pretty much it. And it was an interesting listen. Some songs totally grew on me as the week went on. Other songs made me want to just fucking break this as fast as possible.
Yes. Yep.
This album is fine. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's fine. It is fine. It's fucking. Fee, what do you got on this fucking fine album?
Look, I picked it simply because I just read the thing on Lou Gramm retiring this year, and I was like, oh man, we got to do some Foreigner, like
Yeah.
they have tons of hits. We all love those hits. I think I do. I don't know. But I never heard the album before. And, I just remember growing up in my house, someone had the Foreigner 4 album, and I loved like, remember those songs that like kids love that adults are just kind of like, oh, that was cheesy, but I like it, Jukebox Hero, Rock and Roll All Night, like songs like that. I love Rock and Roll, Joan Jett, like all of those tunes, like good songs, all good songs, but a little bit on the kid side, like if you want to get a kid into rock and roll, you play those 3 tunes and you got a kid into rock and roll, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of how I got into Foreigner. And I just, found out my ventures on this. They're doing a residency out here, and they'll be playing, shows month to month over the next 5 or 6 months. So I think I'm going to have to go check them out.
Fucking Foreigner's so weird, man. They're this band that obviously, when they're firing on all cylinders, can write a hit with the best of them, but then like completely forget how to write a song. It's
Yes.
like, what?
Mhm.
What are
Oh,
you
yeah.
talking about? Yeah. Go ahead.
So are there any original members left? Is it just like the guitar player, or
That's
who's
a good
in it
question.
Yeah, it's Mick Jones, and then basically all new guys. But the new
What
guys have all
band?
been with him for like 20 years now.
Isn't
Yeah.
Quiet Riot like a complete, like a cover band now, but they're the original, but they're cover?
Rudy Zarzo
Yeah.
took it over once
Oh, okay.
Frankie Benali died.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
he's not even an original member of Quiet Riot.
Right. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, we're going to do a quick fast 5, but I think this one's going to be fun. This one is what's cooler, and these aren't opinions; these are facts. So, what's cooler? Mickey Dave's already laughing. Okay, Dave.
Absolute Zero or
No. Okay. What's cooler, a white Les Paul or a black Les Paul? Now, this is a trick question because I know Randy played a white one and Mick played a black one, Mick Mars. So, Dave, what is cooler?
Got to go with the white one.
And Ed, which one is cooler?
It's a Les Paul. It's cool.
Yeah,
No matter what.
But if you were
Right.
picking
No matter
one
what.
out for yourself for your world tour,
If
what
I was
color?
picking one out for myself, I would go black.
And Fee.
I'm with Ed. We'll take the black one.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, come on, man. What are you doing over here? It's a black Les Paul. It's the coolest guitar. Like, God gave man a black Les Paul and said everything after this is unnecessary.
Dude,
So
you trapped him with the Randy Rhoads comment.
I
You
did.
trapped
I
him.
did because it is a trap. Because you know what's funny? So Randy played the '74 white Les Paul 20th anniversary, and I have the same guitar. Only I have mine in black. It was a 18-year wedding anniversary for my lovely wife, brought from a vintage guitar shop in Long Beach, California, completely original, with the original case that smells so bad it is now out in a shed somewhere, and I have it in a brand new Les Paul case. But I keep the old case in case I ever wanted to sell it. But it smells like 1974. It's brutal. Okay, so the correct answer is black Les Paul. Number 2, and all of these you're going to see a little something the same, and we'll see if you guys pick up on this one. I'll see who picks it up. So a wine-colored Yamaha Attitude bass or a wood grain Rickenbacker bass. Which is cooler and why? Dave.
Probably the Rickenbacker because it sounds pretty sure Lemmy played one of those.
Okay. And Ed, which is cooler?
Yeah, definitely the Rickenbacker. It's
Yeah.
got a tone to die for.
And Fee, which one is cooler?
I default to Ed on this one, so I'll go with whatever Ed says.
So the wine-colored Yamaha Attitude bass was actually played by one Billy Sheehan. The wood grain Rickenbacker was made famous by Lemmy, and Lemmy is God. So the correct answer is the Rickenbacker. Okay, we all got that one right. Number 3, a 9-piece white Tama drum kit or a Ludwig Oyster Black Super Classic drum kit. Dave, which one is cooler?
I'm going to go with Tommy Lee's mirror finish drum kit with the pentagrams on the front, double bass. but
That is not an option.
Damn it. If I had to pick one, we'll go with Ringo's Ludwig kit.
Not, dude, I love it. Dave is all over it. He knows. And do you know who played the other one?
What was it? Tama?
It was a 9-piece white Tama drum kit.
If I had to guess, either Alex Van Halen or Neil Peart.
You are wrong on both, but nice
Tommy
call
Aldridge.
on the. No. And which one is the right one? Which one do you think is cooler, the white Tama or the Ludwig?
Honestly, it depends on the year because there were a couple years I liked the sound of Tom of drums better, but I'm with Dave. I'm going with the Ludwig.
And Fee.
Why are you asking me these questions? I have no fucking clue which is which.
Well, I'll tell you the two musicians. So the 9-piece white Tama drum kit was played by one Lars Ulrich of Metallica, while
Okay.
the super classic is played by one Ringo Starr, as Dave said. So you
Then
can
we're
just
going
go
with
with your favorite drummer.
Ringo. We'll go with Ringo.
Okay. So we're all agreed on Ringo. That was a pretty easy one. Nice job.
Hmm.
Okay. What is cooler? Faster Pussycat or Poison? Dave, what's cooler?
Come on, Faster Pussycat.
Okay. And
Every
Ed,
day.
which all day and on Sunday. Ed, which one is cooler?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of either. I would have to say Poison had more hits, so they were more successful.
Who is cooler?
Faster Pussycat definitely looked cooler.
Yes, they played a white and black Les Paul at the same time on stage. So right there, that's gonna just cinch it up. Fee, which one's cooler?
Yeah, well, I like both, and I like Poison's music a little bit, well, a lot better. But we're going with Faster Pussycat.
Okay. Number 5. What is a cooler album? Not necessarily a better album, but a cooler album. Shout at the Devil or Slippery When Wet. I'm going to put Dave in a pickle here, I think. Dave, which is a cooler album?
No, that's easy. Shout at the Devil is way cooler.
Okay, this I don't know how this is going to go. Ed, which album is cooler?
Yeah, that's tough.
It's not.
I like Bon Jovi and all, but
This is not tough
You
at
know.
all. No way.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I would have to go with Motley Crue.
Fee.
It's
one's
Motley
cooler?
Crue.
It is
It's
Motley
Motley
Crue. All right, guys, give yourself a round of applause. I think everybody aced the test this week. All right. The Des test, like I got all the answers. All right, let's break this bitch down. So track number 1 is Feels Like the First Time. She said that I said to my wife, feels like the first time every time I'm with you. I said it just like that, like Paul Stanley, and she went, fuck off. So during the intro and the chorus of this song, there is a little fast keyboard riff. This riff feels a little messy and distracting to me. I know it's meant to be the hook of the chorus, but it's not. It actually holds this amazing chorus back a little bit. The production is very clean on this album. And when that keyboard disappears, the track, like, it almost comes into focus. Like, it's almost like it's a little blurry. They take out that messy keyboard lick that's supposed to be the hook of the chorus, which it's not. And then this production comes back into focus and it sounds awesomely extra clean and smooth. So in my opinion, it hurts the hook. It doesn't fit with the ultra clean production of the album. The vocals, so good. Lou Gramm, killer singer, man. He's got that range. It's right where I like it. Not too high, not too low, not too... He's just good, man. He's a good rock and roll singer. Vocals are on point. It's an amazing tune with an amazing chorus. This is how you write a chorus, boys. Dave, what do you got?
this was the first single off the album. Cool guitar riff to open, nice stompy drums. Sounds like some guitar layering of chord voicings, even some ooh background vocals worked in before it hits that great chorus at just around the 1 minute mark. Not a lot of wasting time here, just getting right to the meat of the song. You can hear some additional guitar riffing in the second verse to move things along a little. And the bridge gives us some vintage synth. They must have been using some giant dinosaur synth. I'd always assumed this was recorded in the 80s, but nope, 1977. Also a little bass lick action happening in that middle part. It was nice. Back to the chorus and then a guitar break with some pull-off licks and then chorus again. I listened to the demo of this on Spotify and they didn't quite have the timing of the chorus right yet with the vocal, and there was much less guitar on there. So they kicked it up and definitely improved it for the album.
Dave, you know what's weird? You said 80s. Like, so I'm listening to it and I'm like, wait a second. I thought I put 77 on this. It doesn't sound like it was recorded in 1977. And not just because it's overloaded with keyboards, because the production's just clean on it. It's just the drums are mic'd up properly. There are some mixing issues on this album that we'll get to where things are not properly mixed into the song. And the guitar player, his sound and the way they mic'd his amp comes in and out of focus on this album. And his playing is super janky and stiff in spots.
Yep.
It's the fucking weak link in Foreigner for sure. But he also wrote the songs, I guess, right? So
That's his band.
let him play. Well, the solo was great. I really liked it. Okay.
I think they should have kicked his ass out, but that's just
He
me.
sucks. He sucks. Ed, what do you got?
Oh, God. Yeah. So, yeah, the song opens with that bass keyboard sample, the bass drums doing accents. And I think that's just a great guitar riff for this song. Then Lou Gramm comes in with his soulful voice, and the song just absolutely grabs you. His voice is amazing. I mean, ridiculous. And brilliant to write a song called Feels Like the First Time. It is such a teenage anthem, and it applies to everything a teenager does. So it's perfect. Oh, just brilliant.
It is. It's a 110-watt song. It kicks ass. Fee, what do you got?
It does. The fucking energy on this tune is insane. Like every time I want to go 1,000 miles an hour and like punch people in the face, kick them in the balls, like whatever. I don't know, run through walls, Kool-Aid Man, you know, like the whole thing. This is so good. Dave, I kind of like that stereo demo, that original stereo demo. I kind of got used to the way they came in on that chorus where it was like a one syllable feels to a double syllable feels, you know, like feels like the first time. I don't know. If you guys haven't given it a listen, I recommend it. I don't know. I got used to it over the week. That was one, instead of a 10-song album, I listened to an 11. I listen to that every single time I listen to this album. I thought it was pretty good. I listened to a few versions of this tune, total playlist, nothing more to say.
I would like to hear this album with all of the synth and horse shit taken off it, just a rock band, drums, bass, guitar, and then maybe some organ, like the actual classic organ that they used on, I think, like 1 or 2 tracks.
Well,
This almost felt like Link.
Yeah,
Go
like the White Snake album.
Wait for my replacement on this and see if you think that would make this better. Because
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I went down another rabbit hole, you know, and it was good.
It felt almost like what we were talking about with Linkin Park. Like they were just coming into, like Dave said, the 80s, and they were like, let's just use it all, throw all the keyboards, every effect, and it was just like, all right, you're killing great rock and roll with too much keys. We don't need this many keys. Number 2, Cold as Ice. So here it is. This is the second great song on this album. They opened up extremely hot. So now this is how you open a song with keys. Okay. I love this intro. The lyrics and the vocals are fucking top notch. And over this piano part, it's amazing. This song has 3 equally great parts. The bridge, the verse, they're every bit as catchy and good as this chorus. Like, it's one big chorus, in my opinion. Just boom, here's the song. It's incredible. Listen to the whole thing. Yeah, it's a fucking another 110-watt song. It fucking bangs. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, this one was written by the guitar player and the singer for the album when they needed one more song to replace a different song that wasn't quite cutting it. It was the second single from the album. Talk about front-loading the hits, like you said. Piano riff opening. There's an organ hiding in there nicely, even some orchestra in the background. Really good mixing. All the instruments are clear, and the lead vocal is front and center. Very easy to hear the lyrics and tailor-made for radio. They do some nice things with the backup vocal arrangements in the middle section and great drum fills during the fade out.
Nice. Ed, what do you got on Cold as Ice?
So it's such an iconic piano opening. I'm pretty sure everyone who's a musician, doesn't matter what you play, has at least played this on a piano because it's not hard and it is so fucking catchy. God, it's so good. And I kind of like that this follows up Feels Like the First Time because it is so different from Feels Like the First Time. It's piano based, not guitar based, and you're just like, shit, this band is just got a huge variety. So it gets you excited for what's to come next. Unfortunately, we'll discuss what's to come next. But the endless layer of vocals coming out from the bridge to the end, it was like a wet dream. I mean, just layer after layer of a layer. Oh, I can listen to it all day.
But Ed, like you said, those first two tracks, they sound like they're from the same band, but they're completely different, which is
Yes.
awesome. And you pick one. You know what I mean? Pick one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're both fucking amazing.
They're both great. Yeah.
I don't know which one I like better. I do because I have it written down, but I could flip flop all day. Fee, what do you got?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Ed, I wanted to call you all week so bad and be like, how do you love these vocal harmonies in these songs? You know,
amazing.
I bet you were fucking spraying it to
Yep.
that all week.
A lot of stalactites on my ceiling.
Obviously, this is a playlist song, but like with the songs you hear 1,000 times, I don't necessarily have a lot to say. But I will say this: when I put the headset on this song especially, I liked it more. There was a lot more going on, the way they did some of the backing vocals and all of that stuff, and I was like, man, I just fell in love with this song all over again. Total playlist.
Something you said reminded me about something fucking goofy I used to do when I was younger. So I used to fucking lay on my bed and pick my nose and spit the boogers on the ceiling.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
And
boy.
there was like this fucking circle of boogers. True story.
Oh my God.
True story.
Well, we
Okay.
now know why you went to that special school.
Oh
Right.
shit. I mean, this was a long time ago. Okay,
Yeah.
There's no boogers on my ceiling now. You'll be happy to know. Okay. So track 3, Star Rider. So that ends the good album, and now we go into this kind of like demo thing. So Star Rider, I wanted to love this song. I did. It felt like a mix of David Bowie, the Beatles, and Spinal Tap, which is kind of weird, but that's what it was for me. And I really wanted to like it, but it totally missed the mark. I know what they were going for, but they just never got there. And that's going to happen over and over again from this point out. So, yeah, I mean, oof. Ed, I'm sorry, Dave. What do you got?
Oh boy, here's the Spinal Tap coming out. Is this Stonehenge? That was my exact notes.
Okay.
The guitar player sings this one. Nice bass work. This is an extreme departure from the pop rock of the first two songs. Their main lead singer comes in the middle to rescue things and provide some strong higher notes. Guitar solo is pretty boring, but did he do some tapping there at the end? This was before Van Halen made it popular, but it still couldn't save it.
Oh, it was terrible. Ed, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I didn't know they wrote music for King Richard's Fair.
It's medieval
Like, literally.
times.
Yeah, yeah, medieval times. Yeah. God, the whole was harpsichord or whatever intro. I'm like, what the ever loving fuck? No, it's just so bad. Musically, I cannot stand this song. There were a couple high points like the bass, but that's really it. It's way too trippy for my liking. However, the vocal harmonies and the vocals in the chorus, there's something addicting about them, but it couldn't save anything. The rest of the song is so bad.
Ed, remember when we were talking about Jet and how it's okay to rip off the Beatles if you're and Bowie if you're doing it right?
You're doing it right.
This is doing it wrong. Okay.
Very much.
Fee, what do you got on this one?
Oh, I'm glad you guys heard this the same way because, like, by this point in the week, I'm hitting next every time this song comes on. I can't fucking do it anymore. You know, it was terrible. But I just kind of pictured these guys like back in the studio, like going through all this, going, man, this is fucking cool. People are going to love this. This is fucking awesome. You know, I'm going, no, you missed. You missed the fucking mark. This song was not ready. It had potential, but it was not fucking ready.
Yeah. Had they been a little closer to 1969 and not 1980, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Probably not. Okay, number 4, Head Knocker. Now, I know people love this song. They think it's gritty like Leroy Brown, the baddest man in the whole damn town. It's not that. It's what it wishes it was that, but it's not that. So as far as the song goes, it's fine. The verse and bridge are totally forgettable. Totally forgettable. But The chorus is interesting. This chorus is almost a smash hit chorus, almost. But they missed the mark. It's like it comes in and out of focus. Like you'll hear it, and you're like, "Oh my god, yeah, they're gonna do it. This is it." And then it doesn't. So it has these elements melodically, vocally, that feel like a hit single. But right when they're about to lock it in, like they're gonna lock that submission in, they lose it and they go the wrong way with the melody, and then it just doesn't happen. So it missed the mark. There were some magical moments in the chorus melodies, but it just never came together for me. So, Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, great groove on this one. Reminds me of the Stones or Rod Stewart. The instruments are kind of buried in this. It's all vocals and drums, and the lyrics are not terribly imaginative. Great chorus. If they had worked on better lyrics, this could have been another hit.
Yeah, I agree totally. Ed, what do you got?
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, the song opens with a great 70s retro rock song from like turn of into the 70s. And it makes you want to tap your feet. And it's kind of funny because I literally wrote, this is a total lyric song with a great chorus.
It is a great chorus. No, Ed, it is a great chorus.
The chorus is I think what makes the chorus great is the delay on his singing compared to the music. It's a little bit out of time with it, and I think that makes it so interesting that you want to hear it because it's different. The verse is very boring, but I think it's more of, like I said, I think it's more based on the lyrics rather than the music with that uber catchy rhythm in the chorus.
Yeah. It's a great chorus with a better verse, and that chorus tweaked up. This could be right up there with Cold as Ice or any of those, but it's not.
Absolutely.
Steve, what do you got?
Yeah, I was thinking this throughout the week too. Like, this is very kind of immature songwriting. The lyrics were kind of trite, predictable. I didn't really care for it very much. But I like like I say, the chorus, the groove of it, the feel of it, like back to that dirty rock and roll sound that I like from Foreigner. Mm-hmm. I thought that part was pretty cool. So it was just okay. But you're right, as it was just that much away from being a hit song, like they missed the mark. And I felt it was those like simple tough guy sayings throughout the song that kind of ruined it. So
it's funny too, Fee, because there's a couple of songs in here that are the opposite, where the verse is, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And then the verse, and then it goes into some weird jam and a terrible chorus. Like, take that verse, put it with this chorus, and let's make a good song.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Track number 5. What's this one called? So I don't embarrass myself, because I'm 100% sure I have it written down wrong.
The Damage Is Done.
Okay. Thank you. I just left the done off. I was like, the damage is, I don't know, damage is something. I didn't write it down. So just like the last song, this song is fine, but it's forgettable. And a lot of the keyboard work just didn't work for me on this track or the album. And the guitar solo was just so plain. It was just like, blah, I mean, how could you be that unoriginal with a track? You're just going to go in and just be like, I didn't like it. Dave, what do you got?
All right, some funky electric piano. There was an interesting chord change / modulation into the second verse. Then they changed the feel again to a fake Led Zeppelin or Rush kind of thing. This song sounds like it was Frankenstein together from pieces of 3 other songs, and could have definitely used a strong pimp hand from a more forceful producer on this song. Would have whipped it into better shape.
Dave, come on, who wrote those first 2 songs? Because it's not the same guy that wrote the rest of them. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm getting to that in my summary.
Okay, like, I just don't know how you go from Cold as Ice to fucking everything else. It's like, I don't know. Ed, go ahead.
Total R&B keyboard opening. Honestly, it could be like a Stevie Wonder song, the way this song starts. I do like the choice of chords, though. Like you said, Dave, the chords just, I think they have this interesting contrast that I find very appealing. But once the song kicks in, it disappoints me, and it gets too much like Like it belongs on the Who's Tommy almost.
Dude,
You
I'm
know,
so glad you said that. Just hear me out. Is it not like last week, like Meatloaf, like
yeah,
where it started getting to, it's like, yeah, it's good. The music's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just boring. I don't want to listen anymore.
yeah. But again, Lou Graham's voice doesn't disappoint on the song at all.
No.
It's like the highlight of the song.
Yeah, nowhere on the album does it disappoint, just like Meatloaf last week.
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
like it's kind of just, it had a couple of big shining moments, and then it was just like,
Yeah.
So I hear you. Pete, what do you got?
Here's my only note on this song. Is it me, or are these guys just okay at everything? No one really wows you on the album except for Lou Graham.
Yes.
They're just okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, it's not just you.
Totally.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, except for the guitar solos are not fine. Those are bad.
No.
Okay. So that's it. That'll end side A. And Fee, I think for the flipping of the show, so if you're listening on vinyl, flip the show over and join us on the other side. Fee, you did go to Bruce Springsteen, correct?
Yes.
How was Bruce Springsteen? And did you see any fucking morons doing anything stupid? Any window lickers out there?
Not at Bruce Springsteen anyway. I don't know.
Okay.
I gotta say this, and I'm a sucker for this stuff. Not on the set list. I find out after the fact it wasn't on the paper set list, but they broke into Hungry Heart,
Ooh.
and they just started out, and he just sticks out a microphone, and the crowd sings the first through the first verse of the fucking song. Goosebumps moment, so fucking cool. By far one of the best live moments I've ever seen, and I love the boss. I wish I saw him 30 years ago.
Nice. And did the boss rip any guitar solos?
As much as he can, yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
he definitely strategically sets up that set list to give himself a break from playing. And he wears some kind of supports on his wrists and stuff like that. Like you can see he's getting older, but the way that guy interacts with the crowd is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm a fucking fool for not seeing this guy until he's 75 years old.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So me and the wife went out for a little dinner. We joke about it now. Like if I go out at 4, it's a late dinner for me. Like, oh, we'll go for a late dinner. So we're at this little place by my house called McGuire's, and this like guy and his wife. Ladies and gentlemen, the story that was told was true, but unable to be shared to protect the identity of all parties involved. But it was a fucking good one. You should have heard it. And we're fucking laughing, dude. Tears rolling down our face. And, we're on gummies. They can hear every word we're saying. And the lady like rips her head around. She's like giving me the death stare. And Lynn's like, she can hear you. I'm like, yeah, she can hear you saying she can hear you. And we're just fucking laughing our ass off. The husband wants nothing to do with it. He doesn't even care. Like, he's like, can we just get our fucking...
He's
our
probably fucking dying laughing at you two clowns.
Holy shit. Okay. There we go. Track number 6, Long, Long Way From Home. So Dave and Ed, I did not like this strange bass sound that was hard right in my ear. Did you catch it? So there were 2 bass tracks on this. There was the nice, full, warm, smooth bass that's on the entire album.
And then there's a keyboard bass.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And it sounded like it was overloaded and just like
Mhm.
distorted.
Yep.
It was terrible.
This is also the other radio hit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Never heard it. Never heard this
Yeah.
song.
Oh, I've heard it on the radio 1,000 times.
Yeah, I hated it. Great brass. I really love the brass. I really love the vocals, like on the whole album. So I mean, that goes without saying. But these guitar sounds are not great. They sound hollow. They sound distant. They sound like they weren't mic'd up properly. Like that's the only way I can describe it. Like if you're just, the mic is like too far from the amp and you're getting too much ambience from like this weird room the amp is in. It just sucked, man. The song is just okay. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, cool rockin' opening, and then you realize, oh yeah, I know this song. Yeah, they play it all the time on classic rock radio. sounds great, guitar based, but some funky clavinet and synth in the background, and even some horns. Sax solo, good stuff. The third single from the album, this song was. It reached number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1978. Kind of a crap ending, though. I would have probably just faded out on another repeat of the chorus. I didn't like their ending.
Nice. I think about that ceiling, what it looked like. It was an apartment we lived in. Like, I imagine we moved out, like, the poor bastard had to scrape that graveyard of boogers off that ceiling.
There's probably that popcorn asbestos ceiling too.
I don't remember. I just remembered it was popcorn when I was done with it. Ed,
Some people
you
say the
got?
boogers are still there. Ghostly ring of.
That's so good.
Oh my God.
Ed,
All right.
talk about it.
Long way from home. This is one of my favorite Foreigner songs. I absolutely love this song. Great guitar opening. I think the groove is dynamite and works really well with the vocal melody. Again, Lou Gramm kills the vocals in this song. I love actually how the keyboard or whatever that low end thing is that plays parts similar to the bass, but then kind of separates from it. And I like that they sound just enough alike that it sounds like two bass tracks, but they also sound different enough that you can tell it's two instruments. And it's something I never noticed until I listened to it with headphones on. So, yeah, it didn't bother me. And again, I totally dig this song.
That's what I love about doing this podcast is, more when I'm listening to something I've heard a million times and I listen to it for the podcast. I'm like, oh, guitar tone. Oh, and it's like shit I never noticed before.
Right, totally.
Pete, what do you got?
I mean, I definitely like this song. I think it's a good song. I don't think it's quite a playlist song, but just okay. I knew that Des would like the sax in this one, but my only real note on this was, could you imagine if someone like Jeff Lynne got a hold of this, a song like this and kind of punched it up a little bit? I don't know, man. I think this could be a mega fucking hit if he kind of cleaned it up a bit. Just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Saxophone was my first instrument in little kid school. When you get the saxophone, you take it home in the big fucking case. Like,
Yeah.
Never learned to play it, but it was super shiny. And I'd
Right.
10.
Heavier than you. Yeah.
Yeah. Any of you guys play the saxophone in little kid school?
Trumpet.
Trumpet.
Yeah, I was trumpet.
Oh God, that's so gay. Shit, you gotta go with the saxophone. Even at 10, I knew don't go for the trumpet. That's how okay. Trumpet's bad. You don't want the straight organ. Okay, straight horn, no good. Number 7, Woman, Oh Woman. So, by this point of the album, I was completely keyboarded out. I could not take any more keyboards. Did not want to hear any more keyboards. And this fucking track was just saturated with keyboards. They were everywhere. Song is fine, but it's just a little soft and plain for my taste. The guitar tone is itty bitty teeny tiny little guitar sound. And I cannot believe this was a huge hit because I'm just not hearing it at all. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, this was written solely by the guitar player. Seems like a big Beatles influence on this one. He also sings it, except for when Lou Gramm comes in to save it with the high notes again. And it's a pretty big contrast. He can sing, the guitar player not so much. Song is just okay.
Yeah. Oh, God. These two songs that this guy wrote and sang, it's like, dude, check it at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, what do you got?
That's what producers are for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. The song opens in, Dave, you nailed it. Beatles song all the way. Both musically and vocally. I was like, wow, this totally sounds like they just took it. But over the course of the week, the song kind of grew on me because I didn't like it at first. I don't know how to explain what it is that I like about the song because it feels like there's so many different little parts that are all held together by a piano and vocal melody. And something didn't make, like, by the end of the week, I was like, all right, sure, I'll listen to it. I couldn't tell you what it was that made me do that, though.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fee, what do you got? Woman, oh
Dude,
woman.
I like the song. I mean, it's again okay, kind of like long way from home, like not quite there, but could be there with a little bit of polish on there. I heard these as like ELO songs. I don't know. When I went down the ELO rabbit hole this week, I listened to a ton of ELO.
I did too.
Pretty much the only things I listened to were Foreigner, ELO, and ELO. That's it. But yeah, I don't know. Just so much, like Ed, like you were just saying, there's so much shit going on in the background of these songs that it's like confusing at times for me. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know what to. Like
Yeah.
our brains try to make sense of shit and put things together, and I couldn't make any fucking sense of it. But just okay.
Track 8, At War with the World. So this one broke my heart, okay? This one broke my heart. It was like going on a date, and she's beautiful. She gets her shoes and socks off, and her toes are jacked up. Or
Just
you realize she's got one of those weird shaped thumbs. Like, have you run into this phenomenon? A woman with a strangely shaped thumb looks almost like a little shovel or something. Okay. So I love the switch to the organ on this track. So right away, I'm like, okay, these are some keys that I can get into. We got this nice 60s organ going on. The fucking verse is so kick ass. It comes in, I'm like, yeah. And then it slips into this weird, I don't even know. It sucks, man. The chorus slogs. It's not catchy. I hated the keyboard solo that came before the super average, boring guitar solo. Oh, it was fucking terrible. But the verse is totally kick ass. So that's what I got. Dave, what do you got?
This was one of the 4 songs that singer Lou Gramm sang in his audition for the band. Good guitar to start, but the song does not really deliver. Lots of repetition of lyrics, which I didn't really like the lyrics too much in the first place. Cheesy synth solo, and the song ends very oddly. They faded out in the middle of the guitar solo.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Ed, what do you got?
Yeah, see, it reminds me of a bad Grand Funk Railroad song.
Real bad.
Honestly, like the intro I didn't like the riff. It's another song with a million little parts that are held together with duct tape. It feels like. I think the vocals sound really big during the chorus, but definitely the verse is the better part of this song. It's good overall. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine, but
It
has a lot of weird keyboard tones, and it distracted me the entire time. I couldn't enjoy it more because I'm like, what? Who was fucking keyboard happy with? Hey, look at this, Casio sound. This sounds like electronic drums, in 1977. Oh,
Dude.
bad.
The keys grab my ear in the wrong way all over this album. Fee,
Yep.
what you think?
I'm kind of with you. I have a lot, but not a lot. Like some good, some bad. I'm at war with myself when I listen to this song, like some things I really fucking love and some things I really fucking hate. And I think this song does that. Like, is that the intent of the song, to make you kind of go back and forth with, like during war, like, I don't know. Weird. I don't want to think too deeply about it, but I was at war with myself.
They're not
this.
a deep lyrical type band. So
no, yeah, dude, you're right. And I'm like, fuck, and there I am at war with myself, trying to over fucking think things. But
they're not Pink Floyd.
No, they're not. I like some of the jam stuff. I hate some of the jam stuff. I like the fucking verse. I hate some of the fucking verse. I hate a lot of the transitions, but I love a lot of the, like, fuck. I can't figure this song out. Can't figure it out. They needed help.
I'll figure it out for you. No, it's not good.
Kind of like on Star Rider. They needed some help with this one.
Star Rider. The fucking name alone is ridiculous. Star Rider. Come on. So goofy.
Yeah, if it's not a song about groupies, then forget it.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's the only acceptable song content for that title.
Okay. Fool for You Anyway, track number 9. Nice, clean production on this track. We get some really nice guitars on this one. Just little, plings and plangs and clean little licks. And I liked it. I mean, the guy's not a terrible rhythm guitar player by any means. Nice, simple drums, clean sounding. Bass is the same, simple, sounds really good. The guitar solo, though, was super stiff and it was mixed horribly. Like, oh God, I don't know who mixed this, but it was a poor choice. The song again itself is fine, but it doesn't give me the feels, and a song that should be giving me the feels, and it just missed the mark again of what it was trying to be, and that's why I don't like it. But I mean, it's fine. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, kind of a soul music feel to the verses, and with a soft rock chorus. Bass is pretty loud in this one, and acoustic slide guitar solo is kind of bad. How are their songs so uneven? They have these mega hits, but also these unfocused, rambling songs that are okay, but not really good.
Yeah, this guy is not a great slide player.
No.
No, take that slide away. Ed, what do you got?
I like this song a lot. I like the acoustic guitar, how it opens. I think it's a great sound. A nice change where all of a sudden I'm like, okay, it's a song that's starting that I'm not instantly going, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, there's a possibility of something here. Then the bass comes in. I think it's super smooth and it has that flat bass tone. And I liked it because it was different, not what I was expecting to be under for this song, and different than the rest of the album. I think Lou Gramm sings really nice. He has this soft, vulnerable sound that I think he didn't have on other songs. In the harmonies, when they come in, they are big and boisterous. Honestly, though, the song sounds like it's written for a movie soundtrack about another band.
Right.
Like this is what the movie band is going to play. This song.
That's perfect.
And that's what I got out of it. However, the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I think it's a really nice song.
Yeah, it's okay. Fee, what do you got?
Ed, I'm with you 100% on that. Every time I listen to this, I liked it more and more and more. I love this song. By the end of the week, it's permanent rotation now. It's fucking good. I don't know. I didn't think Lou Gramm had that kind of range, that kind of soft touch that he has, and I was pleasantly surprised. And
yeah, when he jumps to his falsetto and that there's like one or two notes, it's so sweet and smooth the way he makes that jump. It's nice.
So good, so good. And I was reading throughout the week that apparently people get kind of an Eagles vibe off of this song. I don't know if I get that, but either way, I love this fucking song. One of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, talking about some falsetto. We're going to be talking about some falsetto in the bonus track that's done right. Okay, track number 10. I Need You. The fade in, the dreaded fade in, huh? We get some more space keyboards. I hated the intro. But when the verse kicks in again, it's killer. Here we go again with another fucking banging verse. But then it just goes into a weird jam and another forgettable chorus and another stiff, wonky, sloppy, terrible guitar solo to leave a fart smell in my mouth. I didn't really enjoy it. Dave, what do you got?
Yes, another guitar riff opening, not quite as successful as the opening track, and more Spinal Tap with the synth. But they did have a good dirty feel on the verse. Chorus is not great. Middle guitar break is better. And for a guitar player who started the band and seemingly kind of being the band leader, the guitars seem pretty held back throughout the album. I hear some out-of-tune bends and sloppiness in this guitar solo. What the heck? Major label album, play it until you get it right. This guy is no Jimmy Page, and Jimmy Page was sloppy as hell. Kind of a bad note to take the album out on.
Sloppy in a good way. Jimmy Page was sloppy in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Oh, yeah.
style. This guy just sucks. There's a difference. There's a difference. Ed, what do you got?
Yeah, there were way too many weird sound effects in the beginning and throughout this song. This song's just really bad. But again, Des, you nailed it. The verse is good.
Yeah.
It's like because I'm listening, I'm like bad, 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 and I'm like, oh, okay. The verse, and then that chorus, you just like, oh, for God's sakes,
Yeah.
oh, it just goes completely off the rail, and it sounds like they're trying so hard, and it's forced.
Yeah.
It's almost like they've been constipated the entire album. Oh, it just drives me nuts. Terrible
Ed.
way to end this album.
Did this song give you diarrhea?
No, but I'm pretty sure that they were hoping for diarrhea after this.
Oh, God. And feet. Constipation or diarrhea? What'd you get from this one?
Neither, man. I like this song.
Oh, shit.
No.
What'd you think of the
I don't know
solo?
what you guys were fucking listening to, but I don't know. I like this whole album more and more throughout the week, with the exception of Star Rider, honestly. And I kind of like this song, even though there's a lot of weird, like, bass sound, a lot of weird fucking stuff behind the organ and all of that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would, and I felt this was a pretty good, solid ending to the album. Not a playlist, but it was good. It was okay. You know, it was decent, above average.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole album was fine. All right, so we broke it down. I think that we did a nice job on this one. And now it is time to release
The bonus track.
This week's bonus track was requested by one Opie Taylor of the Mayberry area. He writes, I'd love to hear you guys review Don't Bring Me Down by ELO. So, there we go. So for me, obviously I've heard the song a million times. This fuzzy production that I should hate just works so well on this iconic track. I don't want it clean. I want it fuzzy and dirty. We get incredible lyrics and vocals. We get a bass to die for. The track gives us a chorus that takes complete control of the song. We get some sweet vocal falsettos coming from two men with 70s mustaches that kill. This one is pushing 83.09 watts. It's fucking killer. Dave, what do you got?
All right. This song is from 1979. It is the band's second highest charting hit in the UK, where it peaked at number 3, and their biggest hit in the US, peaking at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. The drum track is, in fact, a tape loop coming from On the Run, a song on the same album, 2 songs before this one, looped and slowed down. That's kind of ballsy. 2 songs later using the same drum track. But they were looking for one more song on the album, and the drummer had gone home, so they wrote it like that and just kept the drum loop on the song. This also had to have been sampled to death for other songs later. I couldn't say for sure, but in 2007, Jeff Lynne was awarded a BMI certificate, that's Broadcast Music Inc., for the song having reached 2 million airplays. It's a great song, not very complex, but it works. Very sing-alongable. Is that a word?
Sure.
Love the middle part with the hand claps. Honestly, I feel like they could have trimmed the song down to 3 minutes or so, but it's fun, so why not? My score is 77.
Nice. All right. And Mr. Ed, what'd you think?
Yeah, the classic song with an opening that everyone knows. As soon as that first note hits, everyone's like, oh, here it is. When I was young, I thought the song was very weird, but as an adult, I think it's a perfect song. It's just enough cheese, just enough sing-along parts, just enough vocal harmonies in music. It's something that I should hate and I want to hate. But every time it's on, I am singing it at the top of my lungs. Doesn't matter if the windows are up or down. It's just one of those songs that is unique. I think you could play this anywhere at any time, and the everyone listening to it's going to sing the song. And I think there are very few songs that can pull that off. And as much as I don't want to give this score, I am giving it a 100 because it absolutely wins over every crowd. I've heard the song at every concert waiting for the curtain to drop. Didn't matter if it was Metallica or fucking Frankie Valli.
You just won yourself some favors on our road trip, Ed.
I want to not like the song, but I love it. It's so goddamn catchy.
It is. Yeah. It's awesome. And that one part, don't bring me down.
Yeah.
It's so
good. I did not write down anyone's scores. What was your score, Des?
80. I'm going to go up a little bit.
His score was 100. Dave's score was 100. My score is going to be 100.
Des, your score is
100.
84?
No.
I'm going to bump it up. 84.09. 84.09. It's awesome.
What was yours, Dave? 78?
77.
77.
This one kind of reminds me of Black Betty a little bit. Like, same idea, you know?
Same idea, yeah.
Yeah. Pete.
I love this song on every level. It makes me feel good. It makes me think. It makes me, I don't know, makes me a smarter human being in a lot of ways. And this is one of those misheard lyric tunes. Like, everyone thinks, you know, don't bring me down, Bruce, you know? And there's actually a word for that called a mondegreen. Which is, you know, mishearing or misinterpretation of a phrase in a way that gives it new meaning. So I went down that rabbit hole. I went down the ELO rabbit hole. I fucking love every second of this. Other monogreens like Jimi Hendrix, Excuse Me While I Kiss This Guy. And, you know, there's just some other stuff out there like that. I love that. I love that it makes me think. I love that it makes me feel. I'm with Ed. This has got to be a 100-watt fucking song. I love this fucking song.
Fee, does he actually say Bruce?
No, it's a made up word. Groos, Grooss. Yeah,
Bruce.
Okay. Yeah.
Ed, will you please calculate those scores and tell us how many watts the ELO killer tune is pushing?
All right, Don't Bring Me Down. Fantastic song from ELO is pushing a very nice 90.27 watts.
I like it. And Dave, where does that land on the list?
Yeah, that puts it on the bonus track chart at number 4. Just under Queen's Fat Bottom Girls and over Bananarama's Cruel Summer.
Oh, this isn't as good as Cruel Summer, but it's good. Okay. All right. Excelente. Let's do some quick song favorites, song haters. We'll replace a couple of guys. We'll score this album and call it a week. My favorite song, Cold as Ice. Song I would cut, Woman Oh Woman. I didn't like it. I would remove Mick Jones and I would replace him with one David Gilmour for way better guitar solos, and maybe he could help finish writing the songs. So that's what I got. Dave, what do you got?
Favorite track, Cold as Ice. And I would cut The Damage Is Done. And my replacement, I was kind of thinking along similar lines. Mick Jones just isn't cutting it here. I would replace him with Jimmy Page. That would fix everything. The guitar problems, the production problems, the songwriting problems. Yes.
I love it. Jimmy Page is perfect. Ed, what do you got?
All right. My favorite track, Feels Like the First Time. Track I would cut, Star Rider. That is just fucking bad.
It sucks.
I also would replace Mick Jones.
Poor Mick.
However, I would replace him with Brian May.
Ooh,
I think he would also solve all that band's problems.
Nice.
I love it.
It's fucking
Brian
awesome.
May.
I love it.
I love Brian May. Brian May, Jimmy Page. Great. Fee, what do you got?
How funny is it? Well, my favorite is Feels Like the First Time. Gotta cut Star Rider. That's a total fucking cunt waste of time. We all replaced the only original member of fucking
Unbelievable.
I'm pretty sure he drove everyone else out of the band.
I think so, dude. Like from day one, he drove everyone out of the band.
Yeah, I
from
agree.
Day one. I wish I thought kind of more on the lines of you guys, but I wanted to do two things with this, if you'll allow it. I wanted to replace his guitar playing with Ace, because I think Ace would bring some nasty, dirty
Nice.
fucking guitars to this. And I wanted to replace a little bit of his arrangement and songwriting and you select the keyboard, organ, all that shit with one Jeff Lynne from ELO and the way he arranges tunes. I think that would make it for a killer fucking 100-watt album.
Agreed. And I also had Ace Frehley as a choice, but I knew you guys would be like, too sloppy. So I didn't do it, but I love Ace Frehley here for sure. Okay, some quick final thoughts. We'll score it, and here we go. So, besides the first two great songs, this album is fine, but totally forgettable. So, for me, it's pushing 60.9 watts, and that's even a little high, but they have two bangers on this, so what the fuck? Dave, what do you got?
Okay, there we go. Like I said before, this album is very uneven. 2 mega hits, 2 pretty good album tracks, and the rest, well, they should have tried something else for those. This was one of the biggest debut albums for Atlantic Records back in the days when seemingly you could just put a band together off the street, get signed to a major label with a potential hit song or two, and then tour the world on a gold record and sell out stadiums.
Sounds magical.
I couldn't find anything about these guys, like what they were doing before. You know, Mick Jones was in like a couple of bands, and then he's just like, oh, I'll just put together a band, and now we're fucking megastars. Like that shit doesn't happen anymore. This was everywhere in the 70s. This album, you could say mainstream pop rock. My score is 67.
67. All right. Ed, what do you got?
All right. Not a great overall album, but there are 4 songs that I really like on the album, 2 others that are fine, and then another couple that I wish I never heard them. For that, I gave them a 75.7. I may have been skewed a bit. Well, no, because I had 4 songs, but I also may have been skewed a bit knowing what Foreigner became and some of the songs they wrote. I don't know. But yeah, 75.7.
Respectable. Fee, what do you got?
Cool. No, I'm glad we're all kind of on a similar level here. Obviously, I picked it, so I'm going to like it a little bit more than you guys. But I felt this album was much better than I expected. Des, I figured to be in your range on the score on this, like a couple of mega hits, and then the rest can go fuck itself, you know?
Right.
But no, I mean, I came out liking 2 more songs than I anticipated really liking, and I mean, Fool for You anyway. Man, I love that fucking song. I can't get enough right now. So for that reason, and the other reason, I came away listening to ELO again a lot, and I really like ELO. I don't know, they're fucking awesome.
Agreed.
So I'll give it 76.5 watts.
Right. So pretty tight little grouping of scores there.
Yeah.
Ed, how many watts is this piece of shit pushing?
Oh, God.
I hate this
All
album.
right. Foreigner's debut album, Foreigner, is pushing 69.87 watts.
69, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Dave, where does that land this piece of shit on the chart?
Foreigner is at number 27 on the chart, under Tina Turner's Private Dancer, and surprisingly over the Biters' Electric Blood.
I would rather listen to the Biters'
surprising.
Electric Blood all day.
Surprising.
I'd rather listen to that album all day over this thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Good.
No way.
Okay. So that's it. We did it. Next week is my pick, and I will be using my pick this week. So I listened to this album more this week than I did the album we were actually reviewing, just to make sure. And in my opinion, this is one of the most underrated albums from this in particular band. And I can't wait for you guys to dig back into this thing because it's fucking good. Motley Crue's Theater of Pain. That's the album we'll be doing next week. Dude, this album kicks ass. I listened to it all
So
week.
fucking good.
It might be the best Motley Crue album.
So now we're going
musically.
to repeat bands.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And there's a couple more from this one that we'll be doing too.
Ugh.
So there we go. Motley Crue's Theater of Pain. It'll come with a nice juicy story for the middle. When I hitchhiked up to Cumberland County, Maine, to see Motley Crue at the tender age of 16 years old. Yes, because that was a good idea. Next week we will be reviewing Dusk Till Dawn on Hey, Did You Ever See That Movie?
Nice.
Great movie.
Vampires, serial killers, everything you need for a good movie. Little Quentin Tarantino, it's all in there. So there you go. Until next time, take those albums out of the sleeve and let the music breathe. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Later.
We all have to go to the Rainbow Room, have a drink.
The Rainbow Room, what's that?
Right next to the whiskey. I'm sure you've been there 1,000 fucking times, Des.
You mean the Rainbow Bar?
Whatever.
Okay.